Welcome to Solo Melodica. I am Tim Kaiser, and on this channel I reflect and react to music lyrically, looking for redemptive qualities in the gift that is music. So today we're going back to Shinedown, and a song that's I've seen the concert 3 times and they've never done this song before, so I had to kind of do some research on this one. The song is How Did You Love? And so as always, I'm expecting great music from Shinedown, so let's do it.
Oh, for muse of truth, that we could descend into the darkest hells of our own inventions. A kingdom, a stage, a cave.
You can have a sound or the thousand voices calling your name. You can have the light of the world blind you, bathe you in grace. But I don't see so easily what you hold in your hands. 'Cause castles crumble, kingdoms fall and turn into sand. You can be an angel of mercy or give in to hate. You can try to fight it just like every other careless mistake. How do you justify? I'm mystified by the ways of your heart. With a million lies, the truth will rise to tear you apart. Whoa! No one gets out alive. Every day is do or die. The one thing you leave behind is how did you love? How did you love? It's not what you believe. Those prayers will make you bleed. But while you're on your knees, how did you love? How did you love? How did you love?
So this video, I'm not sure how old this video is. The lead singer looks like one of my friends from Illinois named Neil. It looks that they could pass for brothers in this. That's when I saw the picture of him. It looks a lot different than it does now, and obviously in the older stuff. But so far, man, this is not that I expect anything less than excellence from Shinedown, because they are one of my favorite bands. This is fantastic.
Nothing ever be while you're on your knees. How did you love? How did you love? How did you love? Nothing ever feels quite the same when you are what you dream. And you will never look at anything the same when you see what I see. How we forget ourselves, lose our way from the cradle to the grave. You can't replicate or duplicate, gotta find your own way, yeah. No one gets out alive. Every day is do or die. The one thing you leave behind is how did you love? How did you love? It's not what you believe. Those prayers will make you bleed. But while you're on your knees, how did you love? How did you love? How did you love? This ain't no cross to bury. We are the judge and jury. We are the judge and jury. No one gets out alive. Every day is do or die. The one thing you leave behind is how did you love? How did you love? It's not what you believe. Those prayers will make you bleed. But while you're on your knees, how did you love? How did you love? This ain't no cross to bear. We are the judge and jury. This ain't no cross to bear. We are the judge and jury. How did you love? 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 How did you love?
Wow, how they left it off their set list for a concert, man. I guess that's a bad problem, or a good problem to have when you have so many good songs, you have to cut something out. Anyway, Shinedown, How Did You Love? So from this point forward, we're gonna break the lyrics down a little bit. So if that's not your thing, please feel free to exit stage left, and I'll see you soon with the video. But if you wanna take 3 or 4 or 5 minutes with me and discuss some lyrics, please Stick around. How did you love? The lyrics are great, it's like always. You have the sound of 1,000 voices calling your name. You have the light of the world blind you, bathe you in grace. Perhaps, and the songwriters here are Brent Smith, lead singer, and then Scott Stevens, who I did Google that name after reading the lyrics because I wasn't familiar with him, but apparently he is a popular songwriter and a musician himself, and wrote songs for Shinedown and Highly Suspect, some other bands too. Here, thinking about the 1,000 voices calling your name, just the whole idea behind being famous and how it's different than what you expect. Castles crumble, kingdoms fall and turn into sand. Things aren't always what we expect them to be, and they don't always turn out the way we want them to. And when they do, I think he mentions it here too, when things turn out the way you dreamed, and it's like, what do we do now, I'll get to that line in a second. So, angel of mercy given to hate. You can try to buy it. It's like every careless mistake. I assume he's about buying mercy. I love this line. How do you justify? I'm mystified by the ways of your heart. With a million lies, the truth will rise to tear you apart. Then it goes into the chorus and bridge. No one gets out alive. Every day is do or die. The one thing you leave behind is how did you love? How did you love? Now, I love that from a Christian perspective, is because really that is something that's intangible. Love is intangible, but it's something that we actually can do or can gift to people or withhold from people and make a difference in their lives. And talking about praying, those prayers will make you believe, but while you're on your knees, how did you love? How did you love? And that's a strong statement there, because I think it's easy being selfish is easy. Being unkind is easy. Not going the extra mile to help people is easy. So I like this. It's the imagery. Again, I don't know Brent Smith and haven't read an article on what this song means. So I'm just going by the feeling of the song and then the lyrics. But when you're on your knees is imagery of prayer. What matters is how did you love? You can do all the sacrificial things and look good on the outside, but how did you love? How are we treating people? And if you've been around and watched some videos here, hopefully I'm being consistent in my interpretation of lyrics, and that it's kind of like how we think. It's easy to think we can do good things and earn a certain favor with God, or do bad things and have that taken away. It's just not how it works. We're created for good works, so they are important. It's important for us to do good things and to treat people well, but that's not how we don't do enough good things and get to go to heaven, and do bad things and taking heaven away from us. The bottom line is we are saved by grace through faith, and that's how it works. And so with the expression of us doing good things, quote unquote good things, is an outworking of our appreciation for Jesus, not us trying to earn favor with him. So when you're on your knees, how did you love? So that's, and there's a scripture in 1 Corinthians 13, it says love never fails. I believe it's 1 Corinthians 13:8, I think. It says love never fails. Now often that bit of scripture is used in weddings, and it talks about, love is kind, patient, or whatever. But contextually, it ties two chapters together, 1 Corinthians 12 and 14, and it's mostly about the gifts of the Spirit, things that God gifts us with, graces us with. But in the middle, that's love, how we treat people, how we're using these gifts. Are we using them to make our lives easier or better, or being like Jesus and serving to the point of diminishment, and also putting ourselves out for other people? And that's, I believe, is important. Nothing ever feels quite the same when you are what you dreamed. So that's, I think, was... Again, being they started this band. They want to be famous, obviously, but I don't know how long a lot of bands play in obscurity for a long time, playing clubs and whatever, and then they get famous, and all of a sudden, nothing ever feels quite the same when you are what you dreamed, and you will never look at anything the same when you see what I see. How we forget ourselves, lose our way from the cradle to the grave. You can't replicate or duplicate, got to find your own way. So there's that thing. It's kind of like it is, wow, we dreamed this, it's happening. And then don't lose yourself. It kind of reminds me of some, not close in lyrically, but it reminds me of Simple Man, which was written by a Van Zandt family. And it's kind of like, basically, you don't want to be anything other than you already are. Right? You don't want to go and lose your way. No one gets out alive. Every day is do or die. We will never leave this planet. We all of us leave this planet through death. The one thing you leave behind is how did you love? How did you love? This band, and I was listening to the lyrics, and it sounded like something different. So I'm just reading what it says here. I thought it says, "This ain't no cross to bear," but according to the lyric sheet, it says, "This ain't no cross to carry." We are the judge and jury. We are the judge and jury. You know, loving people. We'll just assume that this is right. It's a cross to carry. You know, there's that people say that's my cross to bear. It's kind of a funny thing to say.
A cross we all must bear.
But again, that's in, you know, reference to Jesus bearing his cross. Us to say, oh, it's my cross to carry. It's my cross to bear. But here it's like, this ain't no, love is not a cross to bear. This is something we should do willingly and to do the best of our ability. No one gets out alive. How did you love? How did you love? Great song by Shinedown. Just there, I'll just leave us with that. How can we love more completely? How can we treat others better than we treat ourselves, and do more for them than us, and kind of do some kind of diminishment? There's a scripture that says he must increase and I must decrease. And it's doing and giving and being charitable to people sometimes can be an ulterior motive. It reminds me of the episode of Friends where Phoebe, showing my age, episode of Friends where Phoebe and Joey were doing something and talking about there was no such thing as an unselfish act.
There's no unselfish good deed, sorry.
And they kind of went back and forth for that. That's kind of how, you know, we can do that though, right? We just need to learn how to do it where we're giving and out of our appreciation for what God did for us, we're trying to be a blessing to other people. So there you go. Shinedown, like always, fantastic song, fantastic music, fantastic everything. Appreciate this band. So I hope this video has been a added value to your life. If it has, please like, subscribe, share, and I will see you soon with a new video. Until then, you know, if you aren't one of the people who are consider themselves part of the family of God, I encourage you to look into the good book, find out the truth. If you're the one who doesn't believe that God even exists or Jesus was even born and died and resurrected, all I ask is you do the hard work and don't take someone else's opinion for it. Don't dismiss things just because they're challenging to the mind. Look at the historical records and do the hard things. So then one day, not to be too bleak, one day when we die and stand before the judgment seat of Christ, that you can be sure that, hey, I did the best I could and figured it out. And if you did, then I guess you really won't care if he says depart, right? So I know it sounds harsh, but that's really what it boils down to is it's a heaven or hell issue. And I would rather see more people in heaven, obviously. So blessings to you, blessings to your family, and I will see you soon with a new video.